Ayurveda is much more advanced than medical science. Then what do you have to say about it? Ayurveda is
Like,
much more advanced than medical science.
like what logic is there to that? That's my question. Like, see, I
Okay.
agree that Ayurveda was a very advanced science of medicine
Hmm.
back in the day.
Okay.
Okay, like say thousand years back, Ayurveda was probably like the most advanced medical system in the whole world,
Hmm.
probably.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, I mean, we were doing surgeries when rest of the world didn't do much. Like we had Sushruta doing surgeries and all that, and we have very good documentation of surgeries being done and all that. So back then, yeah, it was amazing. But right now, no. See, if you see a lot of Ayurveda texts, they rely on things that are like 1,000, 2,000 years back,
Okay.
right? They say that these Rishi Munis were like enlightened people and they wrote this to help us.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then, in their age, they were definitely way ahead of their time. They were like really great for their time.
Yeah.
But as Albert Einstein or someone said, whatever doesn't change with new info is not science.
Y-
It's religion. You blindly believe it.
Okay.
And um, so Ayurveda has this whole theory that all disorders in the body are based on balance in like four elements: kapha, vata, pitta, and one more. I'm not very sure. Right? I mean, this was the thought in whole of medicine, like even Western medicine, like from the time of Hippocrates and all those people. Uh, there was this theory of four humors. That's how it was called in Western medicine.
Okay.
What these people use, kapha, vata, pitta, and all that.
Hmm.
Um, uh, they used to call it, the theory of four humors, which has been not in use for the past 150 to 200 years. Because as we learned more about the human body, we realized all this was just made up things and not real physiological things. Everything that is in medicine right now has been observed with experimentation, has been seen under a microscope,
So
has been seen
this
to
is
work
what
with scientific things.
this is what people don't understand, that some of the Ayurvedic knowledge is been discarded by scientific community, and they just feel that they just reject our idea, but they don't understand that science test everything and then they reject stuff.
Yeah, I mean, see, this Ayurveda, whatever the basis is, the four humors, this thing,
Hmm.
that is what even Western medicine was following.
Hmm.
If you see, like, one of the main, this thing in Western medicine back then, like 200 years back, was bloodletting.
Hmm.
Anything happened, any infection, let the blood out.
Okay.
Because back then they thought infections were because of bad blood. Okay. We
Okay.
obviously now know that it's not the case.
Okay.
So we don't follow it.
Okay.
One
So
one
yeah,
person's
yeah.
comment on my YouTube video was,
Hmm.
Western medicine causes death. Do you know how George Washington died? He was subjected to this, we call it exsanguination, okay, letting blood out, what they were doing long back. That's how George Washington died.
Died.
That is what Western medicine does to people. Ayurveda, we save lives. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm. So.
Whatever, see, even if I'm a like a really big person, okay,
Hmm.
like let's just say someone like Anthony Fauci, who's like really big, who has been the director of National Institute of Health Immunology for a very long time. In fact,
Yeah.
the textbooks that I read,
Yeah.
Harrison's Medicine, he is the second author. It's like the biggest textbook in the world. If he comes up with some theory about COVID today, and he says, "Okay, guys, this is how COVID causes disease, and I know how it has to be treated,"
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
no one is going to believe him unless he shows proof. That is how medicine works today. But Ayurveda again works like, if there was someone great like Anthony Fauci back then, for their time, someone great who has achieved a lot of things in their field in Ayurveda, and he comes up and says, "This disease is caused by this thing, I know, and this is the drug." That has been followed for thousands of years, and that is still being followed.
Okay.
No one is questioning it. Their sense is they were great people who gave this, so it has to be true.
Okay.
You have to realize that everyone are humans and they can be wrong. They don't
Exactly.
have to be wrong. They
Exactly.
can be wrong, and no one is questioning that.
Yeah. So.
If we were having this conversation 200
Hmm.
years back, I
Hmm.
would probably say Ayurveda is much more safer, because there are no risky treatments like exsanguination and all that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?